Have you ever wondered why you don't trust banks as much as you used to? Corporate scandals are shaking up the financial world, and it's impacting how your money. From Wall Street to Silicon Valley, corporate scandals have become part of the modern business landscape. When a company manipulates numbers, lies to investors, or misuses customer funds, it doesn't just destroy that company's reputation, it reshapes the rules for everyone. These scandals force regulators, lawmakers, and even everyday consumers to rethink how money flows through the system. Why do we now have stricter banking oversight? Why do companies undergo constant audits and compliance checks? It all ties back to one thing: trust. And that trust has been tested again and again. Let's start with a few infamous examples. First, the 2008 financial crisis. Banks were packaging risky mortgages as safe investments. This era was plagued with predatory lending strategies, such as purchasing a home or vehicle that people could not afford. Commission-based job positions encouraged these strategies, while also falling victim to them. Imagine being a financial professional who lends to people at predatory interest rates, while also owning a home with a mortgage that you cannot afford. People lived beyond their means, and capitalism capitalized. This is the reason why your income is verified when applying for loans. When it all fell apart, millions lost their homes, savings, and jobs. This led to the Dodd-Frank Act, a 2010 US law, which aimed to prevent another collapse by increasing transparency in lending and trading. Under the Dodd-Frank Act, large financial institutions were required to submit resolution plans, or living wills, detailing how they could be unwound in the event of a collapse without causing wider economic damage or requiring a taxpayer bailout. This law significantly increased protections and financial incentives for whistleblowers who report securities law violations to the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. And then there's Wells Fargo. Between 2011 and 2016, employees opened millions of fake accounts to meet unrealistic sales targets. Once again, capitalism sought to capitalize. The expectations outweighed the probability. It is always okay to aim high. It's encouraged even. This viewpoint is a double-edged sword, though, as people tend to weaponize it. If there's an opportunity to compete, pride, greed, and deception can take over. As did with Wells Fargo. The result: billions in fines, and a massive blow to public trust in the banking system. Each of these scandals didn't just punish the guilty, they reshaped how the rest of the corporate world operates. But one scandal, in particular, left a lasting legacy: Enron. In the early 2000s, Enron was America's energy darling, until it collapsed under one of the biggest accounting frauds in history. Executives hid billions in debt through complex shell companies, leaving employees with worthless pensions and investors with empty pockets. When Enron collapsed in 2001, it wasn't just a company that failed, it was the system. Auditors, regulators, and even Wall Street analysts were complicit or asleep at the wheel. Enron's downfall led directly to the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, which forever changed how corporations report their financials. Now, CEOs and CFOs must personally certify that their company's statements are accurate or face criminal charges. Public companies are required to maintain internal controls and have their audits verified by independent boards. This means that the company cannot have their own employees verify the validity of their financial practices. There should also in-house practices on a regular basis that follow set standards. This wasn't just about catching liars. It was about rebuilding the foundation of trust, the one thing that money depends on to function. In the aftermath of Enron and later scandals like Wells Fargo, a new era began. One focused on transparency, accountability, and compliance. Companies now spend millions each year ensuring compliance with ever-evolving financial laws. Whistleblower programs became stronger, auditors are watched more closely, and consumers, you and me, have become far more skeptical. That skepticism isn't necessarily bad. It's what pushes companies to be more open, more responsible, and more human in how they handle our money. Because in the end, financial stability isn't built on money. It's built on belief. Corporate scandals teach us painful but powerful lessons. They show that unchecked greed, weak oversight, or complacency can tear down even the most successful companies. But they also prove that change, real, measurable change, can follow. Today, new technologies like blockchain, AI auditing, and open banking are direct responses to past scandals. They're designed to make financial systems more secure, traceable, and fair. So, the next time you open your banking app or invest online, remember, behind every safeguard and disclosure, there's a story. A scandal that changed the way your money is managed forever. What do you think? Have these scandals made corporations more honest, or just better at hiding things? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, stay tuned for my next video. Have you ever wondered